we return. We return to the stage. We're here to say, with great excitement and passion, that there are no more guests taking the stage today. Thank you so much, everybody. Kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, you might not know who this actor is. You might not recognize the character that he played. But if you fast forward through a few episodes, you might see him do a little acting on the show. And his stage name is Misha Collins. On this stage, because we travel the world together for a decade plus.
Against our will.
Against our will, under contractual obligations. And sometimes, amid the fighting and drug abuse, there is little like, sprinkles of magic that happen. Unexpected connections are made between humans, where we suddenly realize, oh, maybe you're not a total asshole. And I feel like one of those things happened today between Misha Collins and our very own Michael Borja. And I feel like, Mike, this is the time for us to discuss this with the people. So walk us through your shared experience with Misha Collins. Actually, you know what? Act out. Mike, what do you want? Yeah, lose the bass. I'll give you a wireless mic, and I'll take your position. Mike and Misha had a moment. I'm going to let them relive it for us all.
So we found each other in the hallway right outside of the green room, and I said, "Hey, Mike, hate to ask this, but I injured myself the other day. I pulled a couple of tendons here in my elbow, and I had been struggling in the green room with a project, and I had been unable to complete the project, which was buckling my belt." And so I said, "Mike, we had just entered into the public section of the convention. I said, Mike, I'm sorry to ask you this, but would you be able to help me buckle my belt? I can't do it because I have a torn tendons."
I immediately said yes.
Well, that's not entirely the whole story.
Yeah, Mike, don't lie. Don't try to make yourself look cool.
Show them what you did, Mike.
Well, I said yes, and then I proceeded to...
Get the cameras out.
I don't think your other knee was up.
Ironically, no, I unbuckled it because I needed to demonstrate.
Yeah, he needed...
But now I need help getting it back on again.
Rich, can you help?
No, we're back down 50. But Mike can help. Mike!
The funny part is that Misha said, well, could you take it over to this hole? And I said, yeah. And I put, actually take it over to this hole. And then I got tighter and tighter. I think he just... So I proceeded to...
Here, I'll hold the mic for you. This is really how it happened. Mike Borja taking it to the other hole. Oh, that's what you did. Oh, Jesus, Mike, that's not a belt. Oh my God, you don't have to do that to fasten a belt, Mike. I didn't know you were ambidextrous.
Oh my God. The most awkward part of the story, though, is before that happened, Borja said, "Would you like me to dim the lights?"
And well, I think the best part is that Misha Collins said, "I have an injured arm. Please, would you do this and fix my belt in the public sphere?" And Mike falls to his knees and immediately moves it to the other hole, only to look up and see Misha juggling and doing very nimble things with his arms. It was a ruse!
We're still on for dinner, though. I'll bring the wine.
Now, who was the fool who told Richard Spade that story, by the way?
Yeah. Michael Borja.
Yeah.
Michael Borja. And by the way, he did it in the most sacred of places, the men's room. So, it was apropos at least. Ladies and gentlemen, Misha Collins.
Hello, everyone. Hi. We have the monitors on really loud, so can you guys, sound mixer, can you turn my monitor down a little bit? I really hate the sound of my own voice. Hi. Hi. Oh. So many assholes. Room full of assholes. Don't say that. Why not? You're not a asshole? I don't think you can live in Massachusetts and not be an asshole. I don't even live in Massachusetts anymore, and I'm an asshole. I was born in Boston. I was born at Brigham and Women's Hospital. And yeah, how many of us were born at Brigham and Women's? Not that many. Remarkably few. I met a woman in line, not in line, in the photo session just now, who shares the birthplace of Brigham and Women's Hospital, and also my exact birthday. Month, day, and year. Yeah. So, possibly my twin sister. How is everyone doing? I'm so psyched. What? I love you too. Fucking Boston! Fuck yeah. Jensen has a great Boston story, but I think he'll probably end up telling it on stage, so I'm not going to tell it. But it was, it just epitomizes Boston. So, when Jensen's on stage, somebody please ask him to tell the Boston flight attendant airport story. Okay? Please make sure you do that. Don't drop the ball. I had something very important I wanted to tell you. That I love you. That man shouting that he loved me is what distracted me. I love you. I love you. Thank you very much. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna let it go, because I can't remember what it is. I went and saw my dad lived in Newton when I was growing up. We lived in Somerville. My stepmother was a teacher at Charlestown High. This is, my aunt lived in Chelsea. This was our stomping ground. I went by and saw my dad's house that he lived in when I was a kid. And I had this vision. I imagined the house in my adult mind as this like gigantic mansion. It was gigantic. It is not. It's just a regular house. It's just a regular little house that has an overgrown yard. And I was like, I drove up this morning and I took a look at the house and I was like, I wonder what else I got wrong about everything. This is totally not how it was in my head. We came to Boston. I have a question for you all. We came to Boston like 15 years ago for a supernatural convention, and nobody came. And now, I know, like what the fuck? And now, it's like, Boston and Austin are the biggest cities for the convention. Why is that? That's the question. Why is that? Yeah, but where were you 15 years ago? What? Okay, so this is why it's set up for you guys to ask me questions and not for me. I just learned something. You weren't born then? That's not... Oh, you were poor then? Several people did say yes just now, by the way, so that's fantastic. Okay, Boston is a boomtown. Good to know. Boston was not a boomtown when we lived in Billerica for a while. And my next door neighbors, the Cawthorns, there were 8 kids in the family, and they would go to the other neighbor's house and steal chickens and light them on fire. That was the kind of neighborhood that I grew up in. And by the way, it felt perfectly normal. It's like, oh yeah, they're burning chickens again. If anyone knows the Cawthorns, please put me in touch. I'd like to find out how they turned out. Hi. You want to ask a question?
Hi.
Hi.
I have a 2-part question.
Okay.
So
Let's see how the first part goes, and then we'll go from there. It'll be like a first date, you know?
That works for me.
Yeah. All right.
So the cruise that you did.
Yes.
What was your favorite moment on the cruise, and are you going to do another one because I missed the first one and I need to go?
So the cruise, my favorite moment on the cruise.
Yeah.
How could you find a favorite moment? Was that your 2-part question, by the way?
Yeah.
So you snuck it in on the first date. See what you did.
Yes, I do.
You tried to take it all the way to home base on the first
All the
date.
way.
So I think along with all of the other actors who went on the cruise we all were like, yeah, let's do the cruise. And then came to 2 weeks before, and we were all like, what the fuck did we do? How did we sign ourselves up for this? This is gonna be an absolute disaster. We're gonna be trapped on a boat. We're gonna wanna get off. Why did we say yes to this? This was a terrible idea. And then all of us, at the end of it, were like, that was awesome. Let's do that again. That was super fun. We all just kind of had a great time, and I think everybody, all the fans that came on that cruise had a great time too. And I think they were surprised too. I think all the fans were like, why did I sign up for this? This is a terrible idea. And then at the end, they were like, yeah, that was pretty fun. But we had, my favorite part, we did a scavenger hunt. So there were 2 teams. It was my team and Mark Shepard's team. And Mark Shepard loves to play games. By which I mean he hates to play games. And Mark Shepard was like, I'm contractually obligated to be here. Sorry, he's smoking a cigar, not a cigarette. But I'm not gonna fucking do this. And so, we all assembled for the start of the scavenger hunt, and then he took his cigar and went out to the deck and smoked it. And that was how he participated. And so, I discovered that I was totally into it and had so much fun running around the boat, getting strangers to do weird things, which I think speaks to my personality. And believe it or not, we beat Mark's team. Soundly. Yeah. And are we doing it again? I don't know. Ask Creation. I would happily do it again. It was super fun.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so excited to see you.
I'm excited to see you too.
My question is, all your years of playing Castiel and the silly, awkward things that he did and said, what was your favorite line or something that he did? And then I'll tell you mine if you want to.
Can we start with yours?
Okay.
Okay, what was your favorite?
I have 2.
Okay.
I'll interrogate the cat. And I found a liquor store and I drank. That's all you need to know about me. That just epitomizes me.
I took a photo and posted it online a couple of days ago of me interrogating a cat.
I saw that.
You did see that? Okay.
Great.
It's funny, every once in a while something will pop into my head and I'm like, oh, that's a great reference, so I'm gonna just do that. And I saw this adorable kitten and I was like, oh. Probably traumatized the poor thing. Those are good choices, by the way. Thank you for that. It's really funny because in the moment when we were filming all of Supernatural over the years, never was there a time when I was like, well, this is going to be iconic. People are going to reference this over and over again for years to come. There are probably 24 people in this room who are wearing a t-shirt that says, "My people skills are rusty."
I have a keychain.
What?
I have a keychain.
You have a keychain with that. Oh, and you have I'll interrogate the cat on a t-shirt. Motherfucker. So, but while we're filming those things, nobody is like, so just so you know, you might want to put a little thought into this one because it's going to be an iconic line. You know, you sort of throw it away, not thinking about it, just like all of the other lines, because you're an untalented hack. And then it's like, oh my God, people are still referencing that. I hear, but I saw it in the script. I was like, I think, guys, this is a typo. This can't be right. It says, "Hey, ass butt." I've never heard that before. And they're like, no, we asked Eric and he said that's right. So just say it. And I was like, okay. And sure enough, there are quite a few people who have "Hey, ass butt" tattooed on them now. So that was a good one. "I'll Just Wait Here" then is another one that I like. I think I do like it. My people skills are rusty. "Hey, ass butt." Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, since you're from Massachusetts and I'm a Mainer myself, I just
Ah.
wanted to ask, if you have a favorite place to visit in New England.
Well, I was married in Maine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was filming a movie up in northern Maine on Deer Isle, which is like way up there. And my brother also got married in Maine, by coincidence. And I decided to get married. And so I had a lot of time off on this movie because the director didn't know what he was doing. So I drove the whole coast of Maine, and then wherever I could, I stopped and I found a fisherman to take me out on a boat to an island to try to find a location for our wedding. And this was back in early, it might have been 2003 or something like that. No, it was 2000. It was 2000. It was the year 2000. So it was still actually kind of early internet. Not most stuff that you wanted to find was online. So literally to find a really good place to have 70, family members come for a wedding, you just have to drive along the coast and ask people. And I eventually found this amazing place. It was a summer camp, and we wanted to get married in the beginning of the fall, and the summer camp shut down right at the beginning of the fall, so it was this would be the perfect spot. It was on an island, and it had the perfect, sweetest, most romantic name. It was Crotch Island. and I got the owner's phone number, this guy that lived in New York, and he was like, you can totally have a wedding here. And we were like, hey, but we didn't have any money. And I was like, yeah, I have to ask, how much is it? We don't have a lot of money. And he's like, you seem like a nice kid. You can have it for free. And I was like, what? That's awesome. Thank you so much. And he's like, you just have to deal with a caretaker. He's a bit of a character, but he'll hook you up. So the caretaker of the island also happened to be the town sheriff on the mainland in a town called Friendship, Maine. And I was talking to him all summer in advance of the wedding, and we had friends and family flying in from all over the country to come to the wedding. And we came out, and we've been talking about it in advance, and he's like, toward the end of the summer, I gotta take in the docks and shut off the water out there. And I was like, well, obviously you can't do that, because we just wait until after the wedding. And he was like, cool. And he had an Airbnb, he had a bed and breakfast in Friendship. And we rented that for the old people, and then everybody else was gonna stay out on the island. And then we got there a few days before the wedding, just to get everything ready. And he had taken in the docks and shut off the water on the island. And I was like, what are you doing? He was like, I was just, the weather was looking a little choppy, and the weather was looking a little choppy out there. And I just didn't want to fuck around with the docks out there, so, and I was like, but we can't get out there without the docks. And he's like, well, you gotta figure out something. And I was like, well, everybody is staying out on the island. He's like, oh no, you can't stay out on the island now. The docks are in. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? And he's like, but you're still renting my place. And I was like, not! I'm absolutely not still renting your place. And he's like, well, then I want to come down to the ceremony and arrest you. It's a town of friendship. So it wasn't ideal in the end, but we ended up figuring it out. We found a much smaller place, and it was nearby that everybody could stay at, and it did cost money, and it put us in debt, and we ended up having to have strangers share single beds, which actually resulted in a lot of action. A lot of action happened at our wedding. It was nice. I'm sorry. That is not what you asked. I apologize. Strike that from the record, please. Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My question is, besides Castiel, out of all the characters or personas you played on the show, what was your favorite?
I think I had the most. I think I had the most fun playing Lucifer.
Sounds like
It was just fun.
I think you played that really well. I love seeing you as Casper.
Casper, Lucifer. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of typecast in there. It's just a natural fit for me. Mark Pellegrino, who had played Lucifer already and established the character on the show, gave me some tips before I started filming, and he said, just the thing I think you should keep in mind that I'm always thinking, playing Lucifer on Supernatural, whenever there's another character in the scene, I'm always asking myself, do I want to kill them or do I want to fuck them? And so that was, whenever I was in a scene as Cassifer, running through my head was that question as I was looking at the other character. Hello.
Hi. So my question is I have a bunch of supernatural tattoos and I'm wanting to get a Castiel tattoo. I'm
Really?
wanting to get it on my thigh and I'm wanting to get my other one, but what do you think I should do?
Jesus, not that? I mean, I get a little bit of tattoo guilt at times because when I was years and years ago, I started this event called GISH, the Greatest International Scavenger Hunt, and people participated all over the world, and it was basically like I was giving people these tasks of things to do or things to make or challenges to complete, and then they got points. The winning team, I would take on a trip somewhere crazy in the world. It was super fun. But early on in that process, I realized that, these people will do whatever I say. And it gave me this rush of power. And I did not use that power responsibly. And so I was like, I wonder if I told people they had to get a tattoo if they do it for the game. And sure enough, they did. You got one for Gish? I'm so sorry. So that one is like a creative inspirational quote, or what is it? See, that's that's an uplifting. That was later Gish. So toward the end of Gish, it was do something that's actually going to create some sort of a positive remembrance for the participants. But early Gish was do something that will actually be a source of mortification for the rest of your life. At one point I had people getting tattoos of the Pope on their ass. And they did it! So the reason I'm bringing this up is that it's a little bit of a trauma trigger for me because I realized that is one of the early times that I realized that I was a bad person. And and you asking for a recommendation about a tattoo, it inspires that recollection. But what are you thinking?
See, I wanted to get something with Dane and cats,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't know exactly what to get. Because I already have Sam and Dane on the back of my arm. So
You do?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
I have Squirrel and I have Moose on the back of my arm with a quote.
That's amazing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I think it's a wonderful idea, and I totally support you in this endeavor. And I have no fucking idea what to say right now. But I think it's awesome, and something like that gives you inspiration, hope, and just keep it like just a little bit away from your crotch. Oh, that's something that if you scan this, you can follow me on Substack, and we do some fun games there. We're doing a game that's sort of Gish-like, coming up in like 2 weeks. So if you want to participate, scan that with your phone. You can take out your phone and point it at the screen, and make it look like you're taking a photo, just to get me to shut up, if you want. Hi.
Hi. I'm never gonna have this chance again, so can you just say hi to my wife in the back? Her name is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
She's been following you.
Where are you? Hi, Sarah. How are you? I'm so great. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Wouldn't it have been sweet if he actually just let you take the microphone? I'm just saying. Wouldn't that have been so chivalrous? Wait, say that again? Has he really? What has he done? What's that? What did he buy you? A photo autograph thing? What's a photo autograph?
Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't want you to strain your voice. You actually do. One of those giant banners?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, so you're sitting all the way back here, but you guys are super rich.
Last year, he actually bought me silver for Christmas.
Really?
This year was just
I see.
not a big holiday.
Well, I'm glad you did. Thank you for being here, Sarah. And thank you for, you two seem like a sweet couple. Seems like you like each other. 30 years. So once you get to know each other a little bit better, maybe you'll have a little friction. But you're sort of in the honeymoon phase, I think.
Two grown kids, you know.
So you got together when you were 11, huh?
No, we've been together since we were 19.
Thank you. Congratulations on your 30 years. It's nice to see everybody up close. Okay, as you were saying before she so rudely interrupted us.
Thank you. I work in a mental health unit, and I was talking with my patients this week that I was coming to see you, and I said, if I got a chance to ask you a question, they actually decided the question that I'm going to ask you.
Oh, really?
So I can go back next week and tell them your answer.
Great. Will this have any diagnostic value?
Depends on your answer.
Okay.
What is a challenge you've overcome in your life, that you're most proud of? And what would Castiel's answer be to that question?
This reminds me of a question I got in Europe a couple of years ago, which was, tell us about your most traumatic childhood experience. Oh my God, unfortunately my brain is locked in on a sort of earnest answer here, but I went through a very difficult divorce, and there was what felt like a lot of unnecessary unpleasantness, and it just was just kind of a shock to me. The whole thing was a bit of a surprise. But at the end of that, I really kind of vowed to myself early on in the process to use the difficult chapter as a teacher. And I was like, this is gonna suck, but I'm gonna do my best to learn and grow from the experience rather than becoming bitter and resentful. And I noticed at the very end of the process, which was like 5 years long, that I was still having generous impulses in that process, and still, like, I was still showing up as a good person in the process, even though there were a lot of forces kind of pushing me in the other direction. And I felt really great about that. Like, just to be able to kind of weather that and keep what felt like, keep some integrity in the process. And I'm speaking a little bit in generalities and elliptically, but kind of, it was a moment where I was like, you know what, I feel good about the fact that I showed up in this situation as the best version of myself that I could be, because it sort of tested me, kind of like drew me over to not being the best version of myself, right? And that felt really good to show up in that way, and I showed up. I think it's sort of a trite axiom that you kind of learn a lot about yourself when you're in really challenging chapters in life. And I was, in this particular instance, proud to have shown up as well as I could have. And of course, I did the best I could, and I'm sure I could have done better, but I did the best I could at that point. And I think for Castiel, I think the challenge for him, the thing that's coming to mind is that he never really fit in, and he didn't know why, and he was always searching for some version of family or some version of connection or love. And I think that he finally found it. Like, that was how Cass overcame that challenge. And I think that he did so by being honest with himself. And that was his triumph.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
I'll be able to use that.
Thank you. Thank you for the therapy session here. Appreciate it. Hi.
So I was wondering, how do you think being an angel of the Lord for a decade changed you as a person?
I don't really, there's so many directions that I could go in answering that question. And it changed me on so many different levels. Like, my career is, completely different. The experience of working as an actor on one role for so long is just sort of artistically and creatively totally different and enlightening. I also got to experience, like, the process of being more of a public personality and having an interaction with large groups of people, and the potential within that, and I think that is maybe the thing that I'll just light on for a second, which is that building this community with this group of fans as a joint venture. Like, we all have been collectively building this fandom, which has been so cool to me to see, because this particular fandom is like a little subculture. Some would call it a cult. But it's been really wonderful and beautiful to observe that within a subculture you can also evolve your own ethos. And this particular community is incredibly inclusive, they're incredibly kind, they're incredibly generous, they're incredibly creative. They're a bunch of misfits who seem to have like found one another and also like gained like wonderful acceptance of one another within that. I've watched so many people like take such good care of one another within this fandom, and being a part of that has changed me in that it's given me hope for broader society. Like, seeing the way this group of people functions in the world, all of the contributions that this fandom has made to charity, but also to one another, creating a community, kind of has just buoyed me with hope for the rest of our shitty society. So I think that has changed me. I think I feel more hopeful because of my experience.
Thanks, that's sweet.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Misha.
How are you?
I'm great. You?
Good, thanks.
Okay, so my question is, if Castiel had a yearbook quote, what do you think it would be?
Don't be an ass butt. Don't be an ass butt. I had a yearbook. My high school yearbook quote was, "Have your cake and eat it." And I submitted a photo of myself on one of those little like child playground spring ponies or whatever, when I was 3 years old with an ice cream cone in my hand. And I totally forgot about this, and then found the yearbook recently, and I was like, what the fuck? I was the only, everyone else had a photo of themselves as a senior in high school. Thank you for that question.
Thank you. Glad to bring up good memories.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, I just wanted to know, what was your favorite scene that you filmed as Castiel?
We had so much fun so many times on set, and we laughed for so many hours. So there were so many evenings when I left the set of Supernatural feeling like, oh my God, that was so fun. That was so gratifying. And I loved the last scene that I had where Castiel was saying goodbye to Dean, and it also happened to be the scene where I was saying goodbye to the cast and crew of Supernatural. I had a scene that stands out in my mind as a particularly favorite scene. It was a scene where we were in a barn filming. I think this might have been like season 6, and Jared and Jensen. I was talking to Jared and Jensen. They were standing opposite me, and I was talking to them, and they were doing everything they could to mess up my lines and make me laugh. And everyone was tired and everyone wanted to go home, and I was sick of it, but I couldn't stop laughing at the same time. And finally, we banished them from the set. And Jared and Jensen told me this later. They were like walking out to their trailers, and they were like, wait, did we just get kicked off our own show? How did that happen? And then we finished filming the scene with Robin Props and our script supervisor reading Jared and Jensen's lines to me. And we did one take, and then the director was like, that doesn't work. Robin, you have to be taller like Jared. So she had to stand on a box that was about this tall and read my lines standing on the box. And read Jared's line standing on the box. And we started the scene again, and I looked at her, and I started laughing again. Because it was so ridiculous. Anyway, that stands out in my mind as a favorite scene. favorite scene because there was so much laughter, but most importantly because Jared and Jensen got kicked off the set. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi. So if you could be any meme, ranging from 6'7" to like troll face or thinking velociraptor, what would you be?
I don't know memes. I'm 51 years old. I don't know memes, but you know what my Instagram algorithm shows me? Not memes. I see political diatribes about Donald Trump, and also weirdly, people accidentally cutting down trees so that they fall into people's houses. Which I don't understand why, but I'm mesmerized by them apparently. So those are the two things that I see on my Instagram feed. I know the 6'7" meme because my kids are going, but they've stopped doing it even. They go 6'7", and then I've occasionally done it, and they're like, Dad, stop. You don't get it. It doesn't make sense. And then I try to get them to explain it to me, and they're like, it's not worth it. I'm not gonna, we don't speak the same language, so no. What meme would you, I don't even know what the other ones you referenced are. Velociraptor what?
The thinking velociraptor? Oh, it's like 2010.
2010?
Like the kid like clutching the same Sprite cranberry.
No idea what you're talking about. Oh, I know. My favorite meme is it's where Cass says, "I love you," and then Dean says, "I think the pizza is late," or something, whatever. What is that meme called? Is that on your T-shirt?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? Shoot. I was like, you know the meme I'm talking about? I can't really see because the light is in my eye, and she's like, and I'm still like, what? Why is she acting so weird?
It says I love you, and then for the Dean panel it says it's my birthday.
I see. That's a pretty funny one.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh my God, that made me feel old. Hi.
Hi, Misha. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So my question is, if cats were living in 2026, who do you think would be his favorite singer or diva like that?
His favorite singer?
Yeah.
Oh God.
So this is, I think that he would probably go in for Taylor Swift. My kids are listening to music that my ear holes reject. So like the morning drive. Actually, my son has started to like rediscover, or not rediscover, but he's begun to listen to like 70s classic rock. And I'm like, yeah. But then my daughter, it's bad news. And we have to take turns picking songs. So it's like, it's painful for stretches. But that's probably the shit that Cass would be listening to. Yeah, what do you think you would listen to?
I think it would be Lana Del Rey. It's like a sad mention like that. So I think.
Wait, say it again?
Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey?
Yeah.
Oh, Lana Del Rey. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's a good choice. Yeah. I mean, I had in my head that Cass listened to Rachmaninoff's Vespers, but that doesn't really feel like he has the finger on the pulse of modern American culture. So I think that's a better choice. You did a better job.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi. Hi. My daughter Amanda was up here earlier asking a question. Today is her 21st birthday.
Oh my goodness. Happy birthday, Amanda.
And she's studying music production. What advice would you give to her going into the creative arts?
I would find, if she can, a way to sabotage emerging AI technology. Yes, I think it's going to be a really fascinating time to be coming into a career in the creative realm, because there are these like tools that are so great at mimicry, and it's like, I mean, there are like chart-topping songs now that are AI-generated songs, and you listen to them and you unless you have a very keen ear, you can't even tell that they're AI generated. It's astonishing. So my advice, well, build a bunker. My advice stays the same as it always has been, which is, it's really, I have just witnessed this over and over again in all of the successful creative people in my life. They all pursue what it is that they are fascinated by and what gives them creative inspiration with a fierce determination, regardless of outcome. Like, they just do the work. They keep doing the work, even if it's not paying, even if it seems like it's a fool's errand, even if, you know, market forces are blowing in the opposite direction. They just keep at it. And it's those who persist and those who love making the work for the sake of making the work, not for the reward down the road, that end up succeeding. People are like, I'm gonna record this song and then I'm gonna make $1 million on it. They end up failing and moving on to something else. But the people who just can't stop recording music and playing songs because it's what gives them joy, they end up being the successful ones. And I don't know if that's something that can be transmitted or learned, but if that is a quality that she's possessed of and she keeps being motivated by that, Amanda, if that is true for you, then you're gonna be just fine.
Stand up, Amanda.
Where are you, Amanda? Let's see it. Yes! You're gonna do it. And you know, also get a bunker.
Good advice, thank you.
Hi.
Hello, Misha.
Hi.
It's my first convention.
Oh, welcome. How's it going? Is it what you expected?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is?
So
Yeah.
far, it's amazing.
Okay, good.
And my question is actually pretty related to the last one. So I was going to ask, if Cass had access to ChatGPT, what do you think he would do?
You'd be like, how do I get my wings back? Although he doesn't type with all 5 fingers. He does it with 1 finger. Yeah, he would try to use AI to regain his power of flight, for sure. Yeah, thanks for asking. Hi.
My name is Rachel. How are you today?
Hi, Rachel. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So I work in the film industry on the other side of the camera, not in front of it. You've done some directing and stuff, so
Awesome.
I wanted to ask you if you have any tips and tricks for keeping up morale on set and like dealing with the long hours.
People love snacks.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, it goes a long way. I think, there's so many things that directors, we worked with a director on Supernatural who wrote a book about directing, and he said, you don't have to worry about being nice in the book. He says, he's a very storied, very successful director. He said, you don't have to worry about being nice to the cast, to the crew. You have to suck up to the cast, but you don't have to worry about being nice to the crew. They're not there to be your friends, they're there to get a job done, so feel free to be strict and stern and push them around. And that is terrible advice. I think you get so much more out of people if they feel like you're in the trenches with them as a leader, and that you care about them, and that you're bringing them along in the mission of telling the story. It's just like that with anything. Like, if somebody is there, but you're not treating them well and respectfully and appreciating that everybody on the set has a really critical job, and that without everyone there, you're not going to have a production, then you're not going to get a good product. So I think just paying attention to everyone and giving everyone their kudos is the best way to run that ship, honestly.
Thank you.
Yeah. That director was not invited back on Supernatural. Hi.
Hello, I'm Megan.
Hi, Megan.
My question is, well, since one of my favorite things about Castiel on the show was the connection he had with Meg, like the connection between Meg and Castiel. So I wanted to know if you could have seen that relationship grow further between them, what would you like to see happen?
Probably full penetration. Because the connection was just sort of a lip-to-lip connection, as you are probably aware, but there was just so much more to explore there. Thank you.
I'm not an asshole, I'm not rich, but I do want to know, have you ever spent time in New Hampshire?
Oh, of course I've spent time in New Hampshire.
What area is it? Did you ever go to Canada Park?
What's that?
Did you ever go to Canada Park?
That's not a real place.
What's your favorite ride?
Oh, Canada, what?
Canada Lake Park.
No, I didn't. My parents never took me to do fun things. Dad, are you here?
What part of New Hampshire?
Hillsborough, Concord, East Washington.
Okay.
You don't know where East Washington is?
Yes, I do.
Really?
It's not far from Hillsborough.
Yes, that's true. All right. No, now I believe that you're from New Hampshire. All right. Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Misha. I wanted to ask what hill you would die on.
What?
What hill you would die on? Like, what's something you're really passionate about that you wouldn't let anybody tell you anything?
That's a really great question. Because people always say, that's not a hill I want to die on. But what is the hill you want to die on? Is a really good question. I guess there are several knolls that I would probably die on. And I think my family is one. I would certainly readily and without even a moment's hesitation die for my kids and my partner. I think I would be like, is this a hill I want to die on? Okay. For some, really, really important social justice cause. I guess probably for my country. I like underneath it all, I think I'm just a real patriot, and I believe that we have tons of potential, and I want us to be so much better than we are. But I think I would go to really great lengths if I thought it would make a difference. So, thank you. Hi. You're the last question.
In terms of the book, if you had the resources to adapt a book to a movie or a TV series, but it had to be a book from your childhood or young adult years, or a book that you have read to or with your own children, do you have one in mind?
Oh my God, that's such a fucking specific question. I know. Now, let me clarify, it has to be a book between 250 and 275 pages long.
Quick caveat, it's got to be the hardback version, not a paperback.
Right, and it has to have been published between 1978 and 1985.
And if I could throw in a curveball here, and it needs to be in some kind of rhymed prose.
Which is hard to come by because prose are never rhymed.
Exactly, I'm just sort of curveball.
There is a book that I would love to adapt. There are a handful of books that I would love to adapt. They're not books that I read to my children or would read to my children, because my children wouldn't listen if I tried to read these books to them. But one is the Daryl Davis's biography. Daryl Davis is a black musician who played music and used it as a conduit to befriending a bunch of Klansmen who were like, can't even believe I'm sitting here talking to a black guy. And also, I can't believe a black guy can play guitar like that. And he now has hundreds of Klansmen's robes in his closet because they have given up the Klan because they've said to him, I can't hate you now that I know you, and I just can't do this anymore. One of them was the head of the American Nazi Party. It was a guy that I actually talked to about his experience being converted.
Rob Benedict?
Yeah. But in fairness, Rob left that post. Like he's not doing that anymore. So when you see Rob next, offer him some.
Yeah, congratulate him. He's moved on.
Yeah. You know, like obviously he's got that sort of that dark like heart underneath it all.
And you've seen him in The Boys. You know what else he has going on. By the way, I love I'm going to change your band name to the Turncoats. Gotta tell you what. One, Rob Benedict is a Nazi joke, and you guys really go sour. A lot of head shaking.
I was just gonna say he allowed me in the band.
A lot of finger wagging. Yeah, that's weird.
No, it's great that he's recovering from that.
I'm really proud of him.
It's funny to us, and we don't like to make a lot of Nazi jokes around Rob. Very few. But it's funny to us because one time many years ago, Rich got up on stage when we were in Australia and announced to everybody that Rob hated Perth, the city in Australia. And to this day, people in Australia are like, don't know about that guy.
If you go on Google at some point today and type in Rob hates, it'll finish with Perth. And I feel like,
and I think you just planted a very, very beautiful seed that will one day blossom into a huge tree where you can type in Rob and Nazi and discover that he was the former head.
Listen, we don't have to tell Rob about this when we see him tomorrow.
He hates it when we bring it up. He really does.
It makes me feel like he's so embarrassed. We're so proud of him. Just give him a little pat and say, proud of you, and walk away. Don't say why. Just go to him and go, as far as I'm concerned, you were never a Nazi. You know,
anyway, this has been such a lovely panel.
Well, I tell you what, it's great to be